Hi, this is Nanette Hosenfeld with the Great Basin Smoke Dispersion Briefing for Friday, February 24th, 2017. Over the past 7 days, there has been a fair amount of precipitation across the Great Basin. You can see the greatest amounts have been across the central Idaho mountains, although the higher elevations of portions of Utah and Nevada have also seen quite a bit of precipitation. If you can compare this to normal, it is quite a bit above normal. These purples are over 300% of normal. So really you can see over the past week, most of the Great Basin, with the exception of southern Utah, has been above normal. The satellite this morning shows a weather system moving off to the east of the Great Basin. You can see the energy in the brighter colors right here. That's the energy from this system, and it will move off to the east today. So looking at the 500 millibar heights, again you can kind of see the moisture from this system just over the eastern part of the Great Basin. And across the eastern part of the Great Basin we will see the best mixing. If we look at that in more detail, you can see the higher transport winds across portions of Idaho and Utah and the higher mixing heights, and that does lead to those better mixing values. So move into Saturday, we will start to see some northerly and westerly flow across the Great Basin. Mixing will decrease slightly across portions of the Great Basin on Saturday. And if we look at that in more detail, you can see the lighter transport winds and the lower mixing heights expected for Saturday. Moving into Sunday, we'll start to see some more westerly flow. With this enhanced westerly flow, we will see an improvement in mixing across the southern part of the Great Basin and portions of Idaho. This is due to the increased mixing or transport winds across the southern part of the area. So looking at the 3-day Utah forecast clearing index from the National Weather Service in Salt Lake City, you can see that trend with good mixing across the east today, decreasing a bit on Saturday, and then the better mixing across the southeast on Sunday. Over the next 3 days, there is some precipitation expected to fall across the Great Basin. Nothing too significant as far as amounts, but it will be unsettled over the next 3 days across much of the area. On Monday, we will continue to see unsettled weather. With the unsettled weather pattern, we will see good mixing across pretty much the entire Great Basin on Monday. Moving into Tuesday, high pressure will begin to build across the area. That will lead to decreased mixing across the west. That trend will continue on to Wednesday. You can see the lower mixing values across a larger area on Wednesday. That's due to the high pressure building. And on Thursday, that trend continues further with some really low values across western Nevada on Thursday as that high pressure builds across the area. In the 4 to 5 day period, not as much in the way of precipitation across the Great Basin. You can see it will be a little drier across western Nevada, although the remainder of the Great Basin should see some precipitation on days 4 and 5. Finally, looking at the 8 to 14 day outlook, the Climate Prediction Center is calling for above normal temperatures across the south, below normal temperatures across the north, and below normal precipitation across the majority of the area. And this is kind of a change from what we've seen. We've seen a pretty wet pattern across the Great Basin all winter, and the Climate Prediction Center is calling for a drier pattern during the first week of March. So that's it. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact us. Our information is on the screen, and you can also find us on Twitter. Thanks.